my associates and I spent months really looking at the history of New Orleans and Saint Dominique, and really beginning to analyze and understand the political situation of what was happening historically in that part of the world, because clothing, in essence, always comes out of power and political situations. So the understanding of that was the very first step, even before we could begin the visual research for the project. Looking at the design of the women for Free Men of Color, Josephine was truly the major fashion influence that was happening at the time. And actually, this kind of fit in such an amazing way into New Orleans. There is, in the 1790s, we have a silhouette that is not quite empire. It's high-waisted, but it's not quite empire. And it is much like what we find in the Goya portraiture, so it has a more Spanish influence. And then we go into the zenith of Napoleon and Josephine and the empire silhouette. So that became really the basis of what the design is going to be for any of the women silhouette-wise. And then you really run into, in a very basic way, fashion comes off of political situations and the power, therefore the wealth of countries. And our show indeed becomes about a man, Jacques Cornet, who indeed was fashion is what his whole life is lived for. And the idea of being able to get those fabrics from around the world as quickly as possible to him in New Orleans is what it all stems from. And John Guare has, from that point of view, indeed told us a story about power and political situations and wealth, all based on fashion.